The war in Ukraine and the war in the Middle East are top priorities for President Biden as he begins his new year.
I speak to him regularly.
President Biden staying in close contact this weekend with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, with Western military aid stalled and Kyiv running low on supplies as it defends itself from Russian aggression. The Biden administration is urging Congress to take action and get more funding to Ukraine.
We believe that they can be successful in this conflict, that they can win, and they can push Russian forces out of Ukraine. But they've got to have additional resources.
But Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill say aid to both Ukraine and Israel hinges on beefing up assets and sweeping policy changes along the U.S. southern border.
All right. Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to come to you and talk to you guys about the recent meeting between the Mexican president and Mayorkas, the Department of Homeland Security chief. So we know that the U.S. border has been overrun recently by the migrants crossing the border, and many people are searching for something from President Biden or something from anyone to do. Since this overall situation has begun, we've heard basically nothing from the White House, and many people are concerned about this issue. So news starting to come out from the overall meeting that was had, and it is said that the Mexican president asked the Biden administration for a lot of concessions. I'm going to read an article here. So it says here, the Mexican president, Andres Manuel Lopez, said Friday he asked U.S. authorities to grant visas to at least 10 million Hispanic migrants that have worked for more than 10 years in the country amid the rescue of 32 kidnapped migrants. Lopez also said he urged U.S. authorities to deploy $20 billion for a cooperation plan to help other countries in Latin America tame migration. The requests were made during the last bilateral meeting in Mexico City. So here it is we see right now. It's not a small amount of money that they're asking for. The U.S. Supplemental bill was said to have been $14 billion for the U.S. border. So he's asking the U.S. to send more money to Latin American countries, to Mexico, to all of these other nations than they would spend on their own border. Including that amount, that would be $60 billion going to Ukraine, another 20 or 30 billion going to Israel, and then you had $14 billion that was left here, and then some more billions that were sent to Taiwan. This would be close to $130 billion overall that would be allocated for all these different options, is what Joe Biden is pushing for the supplemental spending bill. I'm going to play a little video here, watch a little bit of this, and we'll come back and talk to you about it just after that.
Playing games. Get this done.
President Biden today challenging conservative hardliners in Congress who are trying to block funding for Ukraine.
I can't believe those who voted for supporting Ukraine, overwhelming majority in the House and Senate, Democrat and Republican, will for pure political reasons let more people die needlessly in Ukraine.
The president pushing lawmakers to pass a supplemental bill to keep those funds flowing. The U.S. has already sent more than $113 billion in aid to Ukraine.
Now is Ukrainian Member of Parliament Kira Rudik. And Ms. Rudik, what should we expect for this war headed into 2024? Should we expect to see Ukraine launch attacks inside Russia's borders?
What we should expect in 2024 does not only depend solely on Ukraine. We are on our track to defend ourselves and make sure that we survive. But it also depends on our allies, on if we receive the means to defend ourselves and the means to survive. We are entering right now 2024 with political promises from our strongest allies, the United States and European Union. However, unfortunately, these political promises did not become actual support. So we are expecting 61 billion that is blocked right now in the Congress, and we are expecting 50 billion euros from the European Union that has not been voted yet as well. And it is indeed disturbing. So in this situation, we cannot plan ahead and we cannot tell for sure what's going to happen. But again, the one thing I'm sure of, we are not changing our course, which is to fight back, to defend our independence, to defend our sovereignty, and to return all our territories and liberate all our people.
All right, perfect, guys. So you see there, there is a lot of demands that are on the U.S. right now. 61 billion expected from the Ukrainian government, 20 billion expected from the Mexican government, and Joe Biden looks like he is ready to do everything to give this money over to both parties as quickly as possible and not do anything about the southern border. We have an interesting time right now that we're coming up on. It's going to be very, very, very strange coming in the springtime as we see a different America for the most part. The migrant crisis, the overall border uh, dissolving for the most part is going to have huge consequences on many people. Crime is going to uptick as many people are left without places to go, lack of food and shelter, as well as the inflation aspect. As you have, an additional 10 million or 12 million people who are crossing into the country, we're going to see a lot of things that are happening, whether it's the job loss, the reduction in pay. Many people are being laid off. Just last week, California finalized their raising the wage for fast food workers to $20, and 1,200 people lost their jobs. This is going to turn into gig work economy workers who are going to go from there, and it's going to continue for the most part. So it looks like the American worker is going to be the one to shoulder this burden. Gavin Newsom just approved the funding for 750,000 immigrants to receive free health care. And we don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but everything that shows is that Joe Biden is against the American worker. So, what are your thoughts on this? Please comment below, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.